She made people laugh. She made people cry. She looked like all our mothers. Before red carpets, before social media, there was Ouardia Hamtouche, the most popular face of Algerian cinema. She wasn't just an actress. She was a mirror reflecting the strength, humor, and resilience of the Algerian people. Her story is not one of privilege, but one of raw talent, hard work, and an unbreakable spirit. Today, we're diving into the life of the Kabyle mother of Algerian cinema. A woman who went from cleaning hospital floors to becoming a national icon. Ouardia Hamtouche was born on February 18, 1930, in the heart of Algiers. Her family's roots were deeply planted in Kabyle, originating from Agbou in the Béjaïa province. Life was not easy. Married at just 15 years old, she was thrown into the challenges of adult life far too early. The reality of her daily existence was a world away from the glamour of the silver screen. To make ends meet, she worked tirelessly. By day, she held a job, and by night, she took on the grueling task of cleaning the corridors of Mustafa Pacha Hospital. It was a life of struggle, a life of exhaustion. But deep inside her, a fire was burning. A voice, a talent, refused to be silenced by hardship. This was not the end of her story. It was just the beginning. Her escape, her path to a different life, came through the airwaves. Ouardia's journey into the arts began with Algerian radio. Imagine this. After long, exhausting nights of physical labor, instead of going home to rest, she would make her way to the radio station to participate in programs. She was a cleaning woman by day and an actress by night. Her talent was undeniable. It was raw, it was natural, it was completely irresistible. She didn't need formal training or acting classes. Ouardia didn't just act out roles, she embodied them. She was the people. Her voice carried the authenticity of the streets, the humor of the neighborhoods, and the soul of a nation. The radio was her first stage, and Algeria was listening. From the radio, it was a natural leap to the big screen. In the 1970s and 1980s, Ouardia Hamtouche's face became unforgettable. She starred in a series of cult films that are now cemented in the history of Algerian cinema. Titles like Layla and the Others from 1977, the hilarious Hassan Taxi, Hassan Nia, and of course the legendary The Clandestin, also known as Taxi El Makfi. She even appeared in the film Sombrero. On screen, she wasn't just playing a character, she was embodying archetypes that everyone recognized. She was the loving but firm mother, the nosy but well-meaning neighbor, the outspoken woman who wasn't afraid to speak her mind. Her comedic timing was brilliant, with a satirical edge that drew comparisons to the great Rachid Xentini and Mohamed Touri. The public didn't just like her, they adored her. They saw their own mothers, aunts, and neighbors in her performances, and they embraced her as one of their own. Ouardia's incredible talent and universal appeal couldn't be contained within Algeria. Her reputation crossed the Mediterranean, and she began to appear in French productions. She brought her unique energy to films like Nuit d'ivresse, where she shared the screen with the famous French actress Josiane Balasco, and Les Folles Années du Twist. But no matter where she was, whether in Algiers or Paris, her strength remained the same. Her simplicity, her authenticity, and her profound humanity. She wasn't an actress who put on a different persona for the cameras. Ouardia never changed. She was herself, always, and that was her greatest power. Even far from her home in Algiers, she remained true to her roots, a genuine soul in the often artificial world of cinema. In 1991, she graced the screen one last time. Her final film was From Hollywood to Tamanrasset, a picture that has since become a beloved classic of Algerian comedy. It was a fitting finale for a career built on making people laugh. Her performance was, as always, full of life and that signature sparkle in her eye. She was at the top of her game, an icon beloved by millions. But just a few months after this final on-screen smile, a story that was so full of life came to a sudden, tragic end. On January 2, 1991, while traveling on a train to visit her daughter in Metz, France, Ouardia Hamtouche suffered a fatal heart attack. She was only 60 years old. The news sent a shockwave through the country. Algeria lost more than just a famous actress. It felt like the nation had lost a mother. The cinema lost more than a star. It lost a soul. The laughter she had brought into so many homes was silenced, but her spirit, captured forever on film, would prove to be immortal. Her sudden departure left a void that could never truly be filled. Decades later, her legacy continues to live on in fascinating ways. Here's something few people know. Ouardia Hamtouche is the maternal grandmother of the famous French rapper Lacrim. When you think about it, the connection makes perfect sense. What unites the actress and the rapper across generations? It's the voice of the people. It's that raw, unfiltered rage to speak, to tell the stories that matter. It's about giving a voice to the forgotten and honoring their memory. In 2012, Algiers paid a beautiful tribute to its cinematic mother. At the prestigious El Mughal Hall, her films were screened once again. Her laughter, her voice, her presence filled the room, bringing her back to life for a new generation. Ouardia Hamtouche never sought fame. She wasn't interested in the spotlight for its own sake. She sought truth. She wanted to show life as it was, with all its struggles and its joys. Through her roles, we recognize our mothers, our neighbors, our roots. She is more than just an actress. She is part of the very soul of Algerian cinema. Her story reminds us that greatness can come from the most humble of beginnings, and that true art is born from authenticity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of a true legend. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from Berber History and Tradition. We'll see you in the next video.